Innovate with 5G. How to leverage your 5G ecosystem to speed up innovation, and what challenges are telecom organizations facing, and what can they do to innovate faster with 5G. Michael van Veen, he's the global solution expert at SAP, and he's here to talk about ins and outs of innovation with 5G. Welcome, Michael.
Thank you.
Telcos, they are rolling out their 5G network infrastructure worldwide. What kind of challenges do you see in their rollout process? Can you elaborate on that?
Well, there's quite a few things that need to happen if you think about it. There's more antennas to be placed because what you will see is because of the choice in frequency, the cells around the towers are smaller, so there's more towers to be built, more antennas to be put out. Another challenge would be that there is more software involved. So if you think about the first networks that were built many, many years ago, all the hardware was dedicated, but today you see more and more software-driven infrastructure being built. And that goes on in the core network of the telcos, but also eventually inside the radio network. So there's a lot of new technology for the telcos to adopt and to learn about and to manage and to operate. At the same time, they also still need to operate the legacy networks. So at some point, they need to decide what to do. Do we keep everything up and running, or do we start shutting down old networks? And if so, how do we move our customers across? So that's quite a big chunk of work ahead of them.
Yeah, and you described it nicely. There's so many aspects that you have to take care of. You can't do it alone, and you need an ecosystem of partners to roll out. And I think that's clear nowadays for every telecom service provider. Can you give some tips for telcos what they should do to create the right ecosystems of partners and suppliers to make their rollout successful?
Yeah, so I think on one hand, the telcos will need to absolutely work with the right vendors with the right expertise to build out the infrastructure, and vendors who can support them in managing and operating those networks, right? Because it's really a challenge to switch from 4G networks, which are based on different type of technology, to 5G. And at the same time, I think the telcos need to start thinking about the monetization of their investments. So if you think about how that could be done, 5G is much more focused on building solutions to enterprise customers than 4G was before. So 4G was very much a minutes play, a data play for the telcos selling connectivity. That's all they did, and best efforts. If you look at 5G, they will be able to actually sell advanced connectivity, including applications that could be offered in partnership with the likes of SAP. And those can be offered using more than best effort networks. These could be connections with the support of an SLA. So what I'm meaning by that is 5G will give us the opportunity, or telcos rather, to deliver connectivity using network slices. And a network slice, I think everyone knows what a VPN is. A slice is a bit like that. So you get a dedicated piece of bandwidth over your radio network, but it has certain quality characteristics around it, like the bandwidth, the latency of the packets, the reliability of it. So you get this nice little package of where an application provided by SAP can ride on a network slice over the network, which is precisely fit to that application. So there's an opportunity here for a telco to partner with SAP and to monetize on their investments accordingly.
And you were explaining it's not only a hardware game anymore, it's more and more a software play. Can you describe what role do technology vendors like SAP play in this 5G rollout?
So we see two paths to success for us. So on one hand, we absolutely want to leverage the power of 5G and edge computing, as we call it, to bring applications to our customers, our enterprise customers, whom we are helping to digitally transform. So when I say edge computing, what I mean by that is if you think about an IoT environment where more and more things get connected, especially in the 5G environment, then you will also see more and more data being generated at the edge. And at the same time, you also see customers moving to the cloud as part of their digital transformation. So you have this situation where all this data is being produced at the edge on customer devices or customer locations, but the actual applications are running in the cloud. So there are quite a few use cases that we can think of where it is very important for data to be kept where it is and be processed where it is, to gain insights where you can, and to only share the actionable insights with the cloud so that the cloud can then pick up whatever needs to happen An example would be where you monitor, for instance, a robotic arm in a factory, right? So that produces a lot of telemetry, which you can pick up on a cloud that sits really close to the customer. And if that robotic arm goes off or goes wrong or needs to be maintained, a central cloud application only needs to have that information in order to issue a work order to an engineer. It doesn't have to have all the data, it just needs to know enough data to make sure that action can be taken. So to us, the combination of 5G and edge computing is an important, another tool in our toolbox, if you wish, and also a platform for a lot of innovation. But at the same time, these 5G networks are not ours. We don't operate networks, we don't build out 5G networks at all. So to us, working with the telecommunications companies to bring all those new use cases to life, I mentioned the robotic arm, but there are many, many more. That requires of us to partner with the best telcos in the market who are able to work with us and with enterprise customers to collectively bring those solutions to market. So to us, it's our end customers that we have in mind on one side, but it is the partnerships with the telecommunications companies on the other side with whom we can work to make it all work.
I think you give a great overview of, on one hand, the opportunities, the innovations, but also how to collaborate as an ecosystem together and drive the innovation. Thank you, Michael, for sharing some of the in-depth insights in the Telecom 5G rollout journey. And for the audience, thank you for watching, and we look forward to seeing you next time.